So that dumb bit out of the way. He's Duke and I'm Mayhem, and this is our little review retrospective of Pokemon the fifth movie, Pokemon Heroes. The legendaries in this one are Latios and Latias. I actually did enjoy this one. I enjoyed it.
This is high on the bar of movies, basically.
Yeah, this is definitely when
high up
they
on
start
the
to
list.
improve. Yeah.
Yeah, they start getting better. Of like, I think we're learning how to do CGI.
I think
only
we should,
a little though.
Yeah, only a little bit. Yeah.
Let's get right to it. Let's get to the plot. Our story begins in the city of Alto Mare, protected by the dragon siblings Latias and Latios. Their father, also a Latios, is said to have saved the city from an evil Pokemon trainer and their Kabutops and Aerodactyl while transforming the city's streets into canals. The citizens built the defense mechanism of Alto Mare, DMA for short, to protect the city if necessary, but have never had to use it. The father Latios died, leaving behind the Soul Dew, said to contain his own soul and can power the DMA. That's the beginning.
That's the beginning hook.
Yep, right off the bat, we have the immediate moment of a Pokemon died.
Yeah, like a Pokemon sacrificed itself and is now in this thing called the Soul Dew.
The other thing is the setting itself is just entirely based on Venice, Italy.
It's Venice, it looks amazing.
In the present day, Team Rocket agents Annie and Oakley acquire a book detailing the history of Alto Mare, plotting to control the DMA. Ash, Misty, and Brock are touring by and see an invisible Latias. When we first meet them, they're in a race.
Yeah, like a race through the canal streets and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Ash is using Totodile, Misty's using Corsola, and then there's this third guy that
just has a Wailmer.
Yeah, he has a Gen 3 Wailmer, which this is technically before Gen 3, I believe.
What happens is essentially that Latias interferes with the race, ends up taking Ash, and just running away with
just
him.
taking him through a different area, and Totodile's just having fun, going fast.
Ash goes on and does his own thing, and Latias ends up transforming into a young girl. I'm guessing because she's close friends with the girl.
Like some spiritual connection.
Yeah, basically. What ends up happening is, as she's transformed into this girl, the two villains from the beginning of the movie that we met, which was Annie and Oakley.
Yeah, Annie and Oakley. But wasn't it like they weren't actually Team Rocket members in the original
In the
version?
actual Japanese version, they are not Team Rocket members. The English dub just added that.
They just decided. I think with the Celebi movie and stuff like that, they were like, well, let's just keep the theme going.
Latias gets met by these two villains who, god damn the design of these women. The best way to describe them is it feels like Gen 8 was inspired by these two.
Yeah.
Because Gen 8, of course, has those character designs that are, let's just say, a lot more attractive. Ash saves Latias, though he doesn't know it's Latias at that point.
He just sees,
knows.
he just sees these two Team Rocket members messing with this random girl.
Yeah. So
There was a moment where one of them is wearing these glasses, and then it's just the girl walking down the street. She puts the glasses on, and then it's just Latias bouncing along on this sidewalk, and it's hilarious.
the way they figure it out is Ash runs off with the girl to protect her. We get 30 million of these CGI turn shots.
Yeah, it was very obviously artificially elongating the runtime, where it was just these very slow, just them, supposed to be them, a POV shot of them running through the streets, but there's nobody around. It's very quiet, and with some music, that's the only thing bit playing,
Yeah.
and you don't hear anybody running or anything.
Once they reach the end of this chase scene,
Chase with quotation marks.
Latias ends up just disappearing out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And-
into a black hole.
Ash then meets back up with Brock and Misty. I probably won't mention any major parts they are in, because this is another one of those movies where they are not the major character. They are not there.
Yeah, they're there for. So Ash is just oh, here's all my stuff. Oh, great. I can leave it behind and my friends will have it. But then even worse, Team Rocket has no... Jesse James, Meowth have nothing in the story.
Apparently that was the point. Apparently they just... It's also the first movie where it didn't end on them going, here's us in the post-credits scene.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was just in the credits, we were just following them. And that was a shot.
After Ash meets back up with Brock and Misty, he then heads with them to a museum.
That looks amazing. The building itself looks amazing.
Which gives me the chance to mention how awesome it was that, no matter what shot you went to, there was always somebody in the background actually interacting with the world.
Yes, that was a big thing, that whenever it was drawn, there was such an attention to detail, not just in the environment, but the people in the world.
There was one guy who, he was just reading his book as Ash was running after somebody, And as he's reading his book, he turns over and just stares at the river.
Yeah,
And it's like, that's not something you would normally draw. If somebody's reading a book, you would just draw them reading the book. They head to the museum. They meet a dwarven man, basically,
Yeah,
who has unblinking eyes.
I don't know how many times he blinked, and I'm pretty sure
Around 0.
I would have been able to count. I'm pretty sure if I actually tried, I actually would have been able to count how many times he blinks.
So I can give you an amazing fun fact about him.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up his voice actor. His voice actor is famous for 2 specific roles.
Oh,
Hey, Hugh! I'm in a Pokemon movie!
he's Joey.
And he's also Cowabunga, dude!
Did
Yeah, he's Michelangelo.
oh my
From-
god!
From the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that came out like early 2000.
The early 2000s. That was
Teenage
still,
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
like when they were still 2D.
We make our way through the museum. We meet that guy.
The ground has the fossils of Aerodactyl and Kabutops.
So I forget his name, so I'm just going to name him Gazpacho, okay?
No, Lorenzo.
Got it, Gazpacho.
Lorenzo.
So anyway,
I love that
we
name.
meet Gazpacho, and while he's talking with Ash and the crew, Ash notices the same girl that he ran off with and chases after her to try to talk to her of like, hey,
Yeah, he chases after her, and she actually like speaks like, "Why are you following me?" or like something like that.
it was this whole line where he's like, hey, I know you, and she just goes, I don't know who you are. He follows the girl, loses her, and then there's a sweeping shot of him like getting lost.
Like he's at like a 4-way crossroads, and it's going around him, and like it's obviously like the buildings are CG, but the fact that it was able to be in time with Ash being drawn turning around, like the camera going around him, and like his proportions staying relatively the same, like his in-betweens, there we go, that's the word. His in-betweens were well timed to match the camera in the CG.
Very well done.
Yes.
He then sees the same girl that he thought he had seen. At that point, it is Latias, who then leads him away over to this shadowy corner.
The Shadow Realm, yeah.
And, like...
The entire time we're like, Ash, this is where you die.
Yeah. But he ends up going in there.
Platform 9 3/4 from Harry Potter.
Exactly. And walks into this...
Dobby!
Like, almost like a greenhouse filled with just this beautiful scenery.
Oh my god, yes. The flowers that we see right before he goes into the dark hole, and all the way into like when he's in there, the trees, everything is beautiful.
He meets up with Latias, and she's just playing on a swing, and then he gets attacked by Latios.
Oh yeah, Latios is like, "What are you doing with my sister?"
They, for some reason, decided to give both Latios and Latias the same voice.
Yeah, that's what we were doing in the beginning.
So it's just that kind of noise, and it sucked.
I'm pretty
Because they're both, like, so high-pitched that you're like, oh, so they're both women. Dude, when I was a kid, I thought that both Latias and Latios were both, like, female because of that movie.
See, that's the problem when you do that kind of stuff. Like, I think in the games, like, Latios definitely had, like, a more, like, sort of sound.
As he's being attacked by Latios, Latios then comes to his rescue. As she comes to his rescue, then the girl that
The
Latios...
actual girl.
Yeah, the actual girl that he spoke to a moment ago pops in and is like, what you doing with Latios?
Yeah, she's just like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "He's trying to kill me!"
Latios, use Hyper Beam!
Ah!
He'd just kill Ash.
Like the shot from like the beginning of the trailer for Smash Bros. This Ultimate, where like they get blasted away.
Just Gazpacho comes into the scene, and he ends up yelling at her like, "What the hell are you doing?"
What are you doing?
Can't you tell that Latias is defending him? And like basically explains the situation to Ash, and Ash gets to see the whole situation of like how these are 2 Pokemon, legendary Pokemon, that are the guardians of this entire city. And he gets this beautiful scene of like the showing of their powers and everything. It's awesome.
Yes, and then, like they established that Latias and Latios can share their vision with each other, which at first is like, huh? But then you realize that they are psychic types, they have a familial.
They basically established that Latios and Latias have 2 to 3 powers. They have the power to go invisible, and they have the power to link up their senses with each other. The other thing that they established, of course, is that Latias is capable of shapeshifting into the form of this girl.
We never really saw if Latios had that power also, but
I would assume.
Yeah, I would would assume that he would, yeah.
At this point, what happens is a drone shows up and snuck in.
Yeah, the drone that was kind of like following Latias around a bunch. What I will say about it is that it's interesting that it has like this drill top to it that you would expect it to like use the drill or whatever. But no, when it slows down and stops flying, you see that it's like a Leonardo da Vinci like sketch that he did for like possibly a helicopter idea.
That's the reference there, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like I saw that and I was like, oh my god.
This is
And there was a detail also where like there was these like little wind propeller things that like it was hiding behind, and when it like the little drone thing left, the things actually sped back up as if the wind was like finally gonna catch it. That was an insane detail.
What ends up happening is late at night, the two villains of the movie, Annie and Oakley. You'd imagine like it'd be like Oakley and like Maple or some shit, like another tree.
Not Annie, are you okay? Are you Annie? Are you Oakley? Are you?
I'm about to stop this recording. I don't think
I'm a genius!
I'm gonna have to look up to see if that's actually the case.
If it isn't, it is now.
They end up coming in to the greenhouse area that they were at and kidnapping Latios, kidnapping Gazpacho and Miss Girl. Latios escapes. Now we get to the climax. What ends up happening, Latios goes to Ash for aid and teams up with Misty and Brock.
For like 10 seconds. They can team up.
And while this is happening, Annie and Oakley...
Where they activate this machine thing.
Activating the device, and through activating the device, end up being able to control the entire city, including barriers, the water, reviving fossils.
Yeah, like controlling like the like these gate things. Like that makes sense.
We do get the most awesome thing ever as Aerodactyl.
Yeah, like for some reason, Aerodactyl gets all of these amazing shots where it's like an Aerodactyl's like massive.
Basically, we have this whole moment where as the entire city is going into lockdown because of this machine, Ash and Latios, they're making their way towards Latios. As they're doing that, suddenly Aerodactyl pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, like he comes down from the sky, like without any of them seeing. And
do you want to describe it?
No, you got it. It was more of your moment. Sorry.
Aerodactyl grabs Latios by the neck, forces her down, and pulls her up into the sky. And it's this awesome fight scene of Latios and Ash trying to escape Aerodactyl. And the only way they escaped was going into a space too small for him. They start making their way towards Latios, and as they do, they get attacked by a Kabutops. The Kabutops, and Kabutops is out for the kill as he's swinging his scythe arms down onto Ash, narrowly missing until he gets bodied by a Palpitoad.
Palpitoad. Yeah, that's another one. With like last time we had Stantler, now we have Stantler. Wasn't Palpitoad voiced by Brock?
Yeah.
Hey, Brock, guy voicing Brock, he's like, I have a name, and it's like, whatever. Could you say Palpitoad like twice in like the most regular voice you can? For like $20, I'll do it.
The water is suddenly taken control of by the Soldew and brought together.
That's what it is. I forgot. So the power of the actual machine, they have Latios in like this little cage thing, and also the Soldew, and the Soldew creates the water, all that kind of stuff. That's how they're able to control.
Yes, but why is that the key to the machine?
But why is the soul of a dead Latios the key?
What ends up happening is they save Latios, pulling it out of the sphere that was being held in, and they save the other two people, Gazpacho and Girly. There's this whole thing where Oakley, right?
Yeah, she was the one that was going mad with power.
Oakley was the one going mad with power. Annie was the one who just wanted basically shiny shit.
Yeah, she was the goblin of the two.
Yeah, so she ends up going to the Soldew of like, I'll just take this and we'll head out.
Even though
grabs
it's like glowing
it explodes.
It's glowing black and red energy now instead of blue, and it's just like, I still want it. It's like
it explodes. It takes all the water from the city, pushes it out of the city.
Which, if you know what that means, run.
Turns into a tidal wave.
A giant one.
Begins to crash down on all these ruins that were apparently under the like in the streets and everything.
Like either ruins under the water that were like there before, and or like little islands or something like that.
I imagine this kind of thing of like this city used to be like above water and now it's sunk under the water.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Which basically
that's not what Venice was.
what ends up happening is we all see this whole shot of like this wave crashing over a castle and destroying it.
What we see is like at first when we see all the water disappearing, and then like the characters reacting, and then it shows the same shot again, and then you see the tidal wave cresting the horizon.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god! That's why I hate the ocean more than space.
Same. I figured that out from Aquaman.
Why is NASA trying to escape Earth so much? What did they find in the ocean?
So anyway.
They found Latias!
No, they found Latios' corpse. So anyway, speaking of which, what happened... What ends up happening is that Latios and Latios rush towards the wave, crash into the wave
Like this,
in like the sphere,
bond thing.
explode. Latios dies, giving up her body in order to save the entire city. Yeah, whatever. Latios dies, giving up his body, and
Makes another soul do.
makes another Soldu, and the water crashes over the city without killing anybody.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like Team Rocket gets blasted away by the water. Wow, fit. It is what it is.
Yeah, I looked it up. Apparently, his actual name is like his Japanese name is the equivalent of "it is what it is."
I love that.
Latios gets saved by the crew. She, along with the crew, discover the fact that Latios has died and become a
dead.
Soldu. And the way the movie ends is, first off, those two villainesses end up getting like captured in that
They're trapped
machine.
in the control panel ball thing of the defense mechanism.
In the after credits, we see that they get arrested. Like the authorities come in, pull them out of the orb thing, and arrest them. And like when they're arrested, they start doing research on different things, and they find notes on the guy from the second movie.
Yeah, the second movie, and how he had that giant flying fortress and all that kind of stuff, and it was like, that's a weird connection, but alright, I like it.
I think this was generally just supposed to be a movie that was connected to a lot. We have this end sequence for the main crew, Ash and the crew. As they're trying to leave, they try saying goodbye to Latias and the girl. The girl then runs up to Ash before he leaves,
Gives him
a kiss, and then gives him a drawing.
and we don't
But
know
never
which-
says a word.
Yeah, we don't know if it's the actual girl or if it's actually Latias. We have no idea.
So in other words, that could either be a very normal thing, or it could be disturbing.
Yeah, or it starts bringing up some bad questions. As like they're going away on the boat to like leave the city and stuff like that, we see the three of the two Latioses and a Latias. The one pair Latios and Latias, they're the parents of the ones that were in this movie, and the third Latios was the one that just died. It was the three spirits that we saw.
Okay, but they specify that a Latios died in the beginning.
Yeah, but
Only
I'm
a
but I'm
Latios.
saying that like maybe a Latias would also, because like they said two of them.
Okay, I'll say, I have no idea what was up with that. Maybe it's like
Maybe
they were
it was-
spirits.
yeah.
Maybe it was suddenly there's more. Dude, in all fairness, there's one in the anime that's caught by a trainer.
Yeah, that's
You know,
the
the most bullshit trainer of all time.
They
Same guy.
literally pulled out this guy to kill to like make sure that Ash loses. They literally did that.
He showed two of his party members. One was a Latios, and the other was a Darkrai.
Yeah, which that is a can of worms right in there.
Anyway,
Anywho, so yeah, like what we said at the beginning, we're gonna put this movie.
we're putting it above Pokemon, the
One.
first movie.
Yeah, no, Pokemon.
and
1.
we're putting it below Pokemon, the third movie.
Pokemon 3. Have we started on the tier list yet?
I made that in the Pokemon Forever video.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So now it's here. So like we're gonna put it right.
Time to share some opinions.
Yeah.
Let's start with the bad opinions,
Yeah.
and then we'll end on a good note, okay?
Yeah. So the CG was less than adequate.
That CGI was so bad.
It wasn't as bad as like some other times, but it was definitely noticeable. It didn't age right.
I'll give you a perspective. It was better than Pokemon Forever, but it was worse than Pokemon the CGI reboot movie.
Yeah.
It was the exact in between.
Yeah, yeah, it was right in the middle.
It was some 2004 shit.
Exactly, yeah. Or 2003, whatever it was.
Whenever it was. It was the era of Spy Kids, the 3D
Yeah,
movie.
we saw there were previews before the movie, and it was advertising like Spy Kids 3, Spymate, which is like primate, like a spy primate monkey, and then Lion King 1.5.
It was a weird year.
But like they were all advertising like early 2004, so I was guessing 2003.
Yeah, that's about all the bad opinion I can give.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Like, it was
other
just-
than like the final like
and the another movie where Brock, Misty, and Team Rocket are all useless.
which I'll be honest, I didn't even really care that much.
Yeah.
No, my other problem was actually with the final machine, which just made no sense.
Yeah, yeah. And like it was this weird like gyro thing that like you would see at Tomorrowland.
It was a cool conclusion to the movie, but it still had its problems.
Yeah, and then we saw like these animation stages for like certain things, and like the one for that we saw for the actual machine was like it didn't look good at any stage.
It looked like Toy Story 1 like beta CGI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Apparently Pixar, when they were trying to figure out CGI, to figure it out, they went to the VeggieTales people.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's
because they were
amazing.
big name at that point.
Yeah, they were. Oh my god, that's amazing.
We will leave it off with some good notes. The backgrounds and a lot of the 2D art was stunning.
Was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
A brilliantly animated movie. Honestly, it was beautiful.
Especially like the nature stuff, like the trees and everything we saw just looked amazing.
Major credit to the background group, which, to find out, apparently Madhouse,
Yeah, Studio Madhouse that like also made
that
like,
worked on Death Note,
Death Note, like Hellsing.
a lot. Basically, name a thing, they probably worked on it. Like One Punch Man they worked on. And yeah, they worked on some of the animation for this.
That's
Of course they
crazy.
did.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering if maybe that was them dabbling into a bit of 3D. That'd be interesting.
That'd be very interesting to find out.
Another awesome note I can leave it on is the fight scenes.
Oh yeah.
Like that fight scene with Aerodactyl
And,
was
and
awesome.
They really, whoever made this really liked Aerodactyl and didn't really like Kabutops that much.
Yes, these two fossil Pokemon, they died from drowning. Yes, Kabutops, the water rock type, died from drowning. Man, I can't believe my fish drowned.
My fish, he drowned. I can't believe my fish drowned.
My lobster drowned.
That was Pokemon Heroes.
That was that movie. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I could, this is one of the movies that I could watch again.
I think the next movie on like the list of movies
Yeah.
is Jirachi.
Oh my God, yes!
So?
I'm so ready for that one.
Get ready to see Groudon in that movie.
Yes! Oh my God, I love Godzilla. Yeah. Oh, you guys are still here?
Maybe they want more videos.
No. Or
But we have a few videos on screen now.
oh, and if they're still here, I know that they could like and subscribe.
They could do that. And maybe check out our Twitter, @GreenVillain22. Or maybe check out our Instagram, @TheGreenVillains.
We even have a Twitch that they can check out, the Green Villain stream.
What are you guys waiting for?
I don't know. They should check all that out.